Hello, my name is Paula Anderson. I'm with the Cruise Center for Entrepreneurship, and today we're going to be talking to Seabelo John, who is an alumnus of the ImagineU 2018 program. How are you doing today, Seabelo?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm doing well. So today we want to talk a little about your experience with the ImagineU program. So let's give us some feedback on how things went, what were some of your challenges, what were some of the successes, just a general overview of your experience.
Yes, thank you. My general overview of ImagineU is that ImagineU is sort of an immersion into entrepreneurship, whether you're ready or not.
Mm-hmm.
We have cohorts from area schools such as Rhodes, University of Memphis, Lamo and Owen, and we come here over the summer. I did that last summer, and we put in groups and taught to how to ideate, design ideas, test them, follow up on them, question them, criticize them, and end up with a wonderful product. So my experience was that I've been trained to ideate and sort of look at my ideas and criticize them, find a perfect model to design to actually follow when I create new products for my business.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically entrepreneurship training, confidence training, all in all.
So the team that you worked on, tell us a little bit about the team that you worked on and your project idea, and is that idea still in process, or how did it all unfold?
Yes, so we were put in different teams at first. I remember I was with a girl named Alexa doing, the product that we were working on was a Memphis calendar where we had like fun events for Memphians in general. So we'll get students from high school students from universities coming to do sports, and we'll make a championship every year, basically, to as sort of our business model to hype up the Memphis spirit and also make money while organizing those competitions. That group was disbanded because it wasn't the sort of the final group.
Okay.
So we had sort of processes. I was taken from different groups, and that was the first group, right? So the second group I was in was in refashion, and there we did upcycled clothing. Upcycling means sort of recycling, but also using basically using textiles to make new products. So we'll get an old pair of pants, we'll get torn dresses, and we'll cut them up and then design them into new clothes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's
no,
the second
ahead,
group.
Finish.
That's the second group.
Okay.
Yes. So that was very, very successful. We hosted a fashion show at the UC ballroom in U of M. But because everybody had different interests, that group was also disbanded. So, and then lastly, the third group I was in, the wonderful Miss Kayla Johnson. She goes to the Memphis College of Art, and our group is called Imagine Graphic Medicine, and what we do is create comic books and coloring books to teach children about health and healthy lifestyles.
Okay.
That group has since been even more successful than the other groups because it's still there.
Okay.
We just started our own business, and we started our own LLC.
Okay.
And our first biggest client, it's our first and the biggest client, is the United Nations. With the United Nations, we just signed a contract to design a comic book for them.
Okay.
That will be sent to Uganda and distributed around the world.
So tell us a little bit, how did that contract get started? I mean, what did you have to do in order to get a contract like that?
Right.
In a very new business.
Perfect. Thank you. Well, as a student at Rhodes College, I've been involved in volunteering in community service. So that had led me to volunteer with the United Nations chapter on campus.
Okay.
Yes. So the United Nations chapter on campus at Rhodes College is invited to annual conferences each year at the UN headquarters in New York. So upon going there, I was introduced to a lot of UN campaigns, like the Shut It Life campaign, where they deal with advocating for children to be vaccinated around the world. And another campaign is called Nothing But Nets, where we donate nets, basically mosquito nets for children living in parts of Africa that do not have mosquito protection to protect them against malaria. So when that community service aspect blended in well with my entrepreneurship initiatives here, I said, you know what, we could actually create comic books, use my business to help the United Nations. So that's how the two decisions got married. And I talked to the United Nations about my business, and they said yes.
Wow.
We love that. So,
Impressive.
and we signed the contract, and we're very happy to have done that. It brings up to us. It brings us a lot of clout, a lot of recognition, and yeah.
Okay. So that's the Shot at Life
campaign
that you guys are gonna do. The campaign that you're gonna do.
Yes, correct.
Okay. All right. So tell us a little bit about entrepreneurship, of course, has given you a foundation with your own business ideas. So tell us, what specifically did you learn about entrepreneurship? I hear you talk about ideating. So give us some other concepts that you learned about entrepreneurship, because what we're trying to do is to use this video as a platform to let incoming students understand what the experience was like for previous students, and to kind of give them like a heads up.
Right. Yes. Besides ideating, I've learned that for you to be a good entrepreneur, you need to know what the real problem is and solve it. So ideating is just a tool to get to that main goal. So you can have a wonderful idea, create flying cars, or design a robot, or anything. But if you're not solving a specific problem for a specific market, your business does not have a lot of chances to succeed.
Okay.
So problem identification is one that I learned too.
Okay. So how do you see comic books as a way to solve a problem?
Great, thank you. That's a good question. Yes. At Imagine Graphic Medicine, we believe that important messages, important information, important directions from doctors are not supposed to be boring or too complicated for children to understand. Doctors will give mothers and basically parents the burden to explain what's going on with their children.
Okay.
But sometimes children are not best suited for it. So we create comic books and coloring books that make health education fun and explain those difficult medical concepts to children.
Okay.
So they learn, they color, they read while learning about diseases and health.
So it's a combination of blending fun and learning together.
Correct.
Through art.
Correct.
Okay, that's a good combination. So tell us a little bit about you. What do you like to do for fun? Just some personal things about you and your journey as a student at Rhodes College. So.
For fun, I really like to read. I read a lot, not just novels, but a lot of news, Business Insider, the New York Times.
Okay.
I also watch YouTube videos of people just ideating and coming up with random ideas and, just being themselves, basically. I also love travel. I really love to travel. I've been to 10 countries so far.
Oh, wow. Tell us about some of those countries.
Yes. So first of all, I am from Botswana. I'm an international student at Rhodes College. And I'm a national youth leader there. So I'm basically an international youth leader.
Okay.
So from Botswana, I traveled to South Africa, which is beautiful. It's in the southern part of our country, Botswana. Then from there, I came here to the U.S., of course. Lived in New York for a while. Went to the Hotchkiss School in Lakeville, Connecticut.
Okay.
Then from the U.S., I went into a wonderful program at Rhodes College called European Studies. There we went to Scotland. We started off from Scotland.
Wow.
We went to Edinburgh, beautiful, beautiful city. Then we went down to Hadrian's Wall, which is sort of the border between Scotland and England. We drove into England, went to York, went to Bath, went to study at the University of Oxford, went to London.
Wow.
From there, that's like only four countries now. So from the UK, we flew down to Greece, Athens, and went to the beautiful island of Santorini, which is my favorite island. Then went to Italy, Rome. We went to the Sistine Chapel. We had a private tour there.
So now, how old are you now?
I am 23.
Okay, so you've had a lot of experiences. I'm way older than you are, and I have not been to any of those places, so I'm really behind. All right, so what's coming up for you next?
I'm excited for what's coming up next. I'm graduating in a few days. And,
okay, congratulations.
Thank you so much. I'm graduating with a degree in international business and a double minor in English and urban health, hence my business.
Right.
And I have just been accepted to Johns Hopkins University for my master's in education and teaching.
Wow. So with urban health, so is that the concentration that you're trying to focus on with the comic books? I mean, urban communities. So you're thinking that there's a lack of education within those communities about health issues?
Yes, correct. Yes. That's why we're trying to focus on Memphis. Is a place that needs that.
Okay.
Needs health education, especially for children in low-income communities.
Okay.
The United States generally needs that. All children need that. When I grew up, I used to just read comic books from, about Superman, Spider-Man. But I wish I would have had a comic book that taught me about health. Imagine if I would have that in my library.
Yeah.
As a young kid. I think that would be so cool. And that's part of why I'm doing this, to impact our communities, impact us locally in the United States, and also internationally, hence the United Nations.
So let me ask you this. So give us an example of what would be in a comic book. So give us a condition, a medical condition that you would try to explain.
Yes. So far we have three prototypes.
Okay.
And our first prototype, I'll just list them all. It's called Dentist Trip, and that's about a kid going to the doctor.
Okay.
Kids are afraid of
the
dentist. But we have a main character, Toby, who's actually a puppy. And he has a mom, and they go to the doctor, the dentist doctor. But Toby is more excited to learn about the tools being used instead of being afraid of them. So we use that kind of catchy storyline to captivate the child that's reading our book. The next book is called Food for Fuel, and it's about a girl who has type 1 diabetes. So in that story, she learns how to make good choices about what she eats, and so forth. Yes.
So do you see this being something where you can kind of advance it to individuals that maybe need to know like statistical information about certain health conditions, or you just think that just a visual understanding of what it is kind of where you guys want to go?
Yes, can you repeat that again?
Well, do you think that you can like elevate your comic books? Because some adults like to color.
Oh, yes.
So I'm saying, could you write the curriculum where it would be on their level, where it gives more like facts and figures about it so that they will understand the actual awareness piece of it, do you think that that's something that you guys
Yes, thank you for that. That's our long-term
Okay.
goal.
Okay.
Because we're just started. We just got registered this past December.
Okay.
So we really want to penetrate the market,
Okay.
be known.
Mhm.
We started with the UN, of course, and we're looking for other clients.
Mhm.
Hospitals, more UN campaigns,
Mhm.
and once we get that notoriety, then we'll be confident to say, hey,
Mhm.
we're gonna do older material now.
Mhm.
But I promise you that the comic books are right now for the little kids
Okay.
can still be enjoyed by their parents.
Okay.
We made it very, very family friendly.
Okay.
Our first prototype just had the storylines, and I came in as the executive editor to sort of add a summary at the end. We have our mascot Kai, who's a little cute turtle, and he comes at the end of every story to summarize and give stats and figures and some facts, so that the students the children don't just enjoy reading, but actually have something to remember at the end.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yes,
Perfect.
that's what we're doing now, and then we'll add on the more mature
Okay.
content later.
Because, like I said, I mean, I know that a lot of adults enjoy coloring, and also it can be a form of therapy
Oh yes,
as well.
yes.
So-
Do you have kids yourself?
Well, I do. My son
Okay,
is
perfect.
26.
26.
Mhm.
Okay.
But I'm just thinking about, adults who may not have a whole lot of activities
Correct. Yes.
to do.
Yes,
And
yes.
so that could be something.
Yes.
And, the way that you have your concept is designed to have fun and learn at the same time. So it's like, I'm an educator, so when you combine those two together, then you have better results.
Right. Yes. Thank you. That concept is really nice. I mean, when you look at what's happening now with adult comics, adult comedy shows,
Right.
everybody watches comedy. So that means everybody can benefit from Imagine Graphic Medicine. Everybody can learn.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Well, we're going to wrap up. Is there anything else that you would like to share with our viewers about what you're doing?
Yes.
Okay.
Imagine Graphic Medicine has just been launched, and although we're still small, we're looking forward to capturing a lot of our audience, meeting a lot of people and getting more clients. And what I can say to young entrepreneurs is that it's going to be very, very challenging when you start, but you have to be very resilient and be driven by passion. Giving me as an example, I'm using my entrepreneurship skills and taking them to my master's program in Baltimore, in Johns Hopkins. So in my interview, I mentioned Imagine Graphic Medicine, and the interviewer alluded to our books actually being used for an afternoon program for one of the Baltimore public schools.
Wow. That's amazing.
So being resilient, being passionate, and merging your passions together, and sharing a lot about what you're doing. You never know who will be interested in what you're doing. So you're your best marketer, and be the best ambassador for your small business.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much.